When I first heard the term addictive personality, I thought it meant when someone's so interesting, everyone's addicted to talking to them, which sounds like a great personality trait to have. I'd want to be like that. Too bad. It turns out it's when you have a natural proclivity to be addicted to things. It's not good, but I'm pretty sure that is what I have. Now, I've managed to avoid dealing with this for the most part of my life because I've avoided anything and everything that I could be addicted to for the most part. Now, you might say, well, that sounds bad, Evan. You're just protecting yourself from things you actually might enjoy. Yes. That's a common trope with me, isn't it? Just protecting myself from things I might enjoy. Sounds sad, I know. For instance, I've bitten my nails my entire life. It's one of my biggest, self-conscious things about my body is the fact that my nails look horrible. I've bitten them ever since I was born. I probably came out the womb like, nah. I made that noise as well, gross. However, for the last 7 days, I've not bitten some of them. I have whites to my nails, and this genuinely means a lot to me. I can play ukulele and I still don't feel confident. I still have, this voice, screaming in my head saying, yeah, well, when are you going to start again? It won't last forever because I've tried for so long. I've tried multiple times. I know I always go back. I always relapse. It sounds lame. It's just your nails, Evan. It's not just the nails. When I was a kid, I didn't really enjoy my living situation at all. Growing up from adolescence or younger, and I used video games as an escape from that. I'd come home and I'd play video games. Super Mario, Donkey Kong, Neopets, RuneScape, anything you can think of online, I would be playing those games because I used them as an escape from the situation that I was living in. And maybe that's what caused the addiction I have now to video games, but I don't regret it. I definitely think that video games are an art form, and there's so many beautiful games with beautiful music in them. But I know naturally I have a huge disposition to be addicted to them. I remember when I was 17 and I sat down and played RuneScape for 8 hours one day, and it wasn't until I saw the time, I'd started at noon, it was 8 p.m., that I realized I hadn't done anything. I hadn't done anything that whole day. And in the game, you feel really productive. You're like, oh, I'm getting this done, I'm moving up in this level, and you feel super productive. But at the end of the day, you haven't moved from a seat. Maybe you got up to get food, but you haven't done anything. And that made me feel terrible. I needed to feel productive. I needed to get out of this rut of doing the same thing and being addicted to this game. And so then and there, I quit that cold turkey and started doing things that I thought would be more productive, such as learning guitar and actually starting a YouTube channel. So the reason I started YouTube was to kick one addiction, join another, right? I figured I'd be addicted to learning guitar and making YouTube videos. Hey, it worked. The guitar didn't really work, but I like ukulele. I've been writing songs recently. However, I was so busy, right? After I started doing YouTube, I was doing YouTube every single day on my second channel. I was doing YouTube every week on my main channel. I had a full-time job working over 30 hours a week, and I was a full-time student for math. How did I breathe? Well, I was always productive. I always had something to do. I never really did games, and when I did, I didn't have much time for it, so that was perfect for me. However, once the 8 years goes by, I'm now a full-time YouTuber for the most part, I'm beginning to have a bit more free time. I'm beginning to have free time to experiment with things, to play other games, and that's where it starts to get dangerous. Now, the new Zelda came out recently, and genuinely, it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played, and I enjoyed it so much. I'm hoping to make an entire Spill the Tea video with a friend about it sometime soon, so look forward to that. But when I looked at how much time I'd put into it, and it was 130 hours, I didn't really feel much regret. I knew when I was playing it, I needed to stop, but I also saw, the light at the end of the tunnel, and I was like, I can stop playing this soon. And I did, and it's over, and I feel great. I feel accomplished. I feel like I've experienced something. However, then I got right back into another game, The Last of Us, which is an online game. And here's my crux, right? I play this game so freaking much, and I really enjoy it. It's just such a thing when I've had a busy day or I'm stressed, and I'm like, I'll just play Last of Us online. It's really fun because I'm doing really well, and I know I'm feeling productive because I'm getting so good at it. I'm always in first place. Everything's great. But at the end of the day, how much of my time am I putting into playing this game that really means not that much? The answer is quite a lot. Quite a lot to the point where it's stressing me out. And I know that my friend Luke and I had this really big bonding session the other day, and that came up. The fact that I played this game just too much. It's upsetting me to the point where I need a mom. I need a mom to tell me you can only play it 1 hour a week, but I don't have someone right here to do that. And so I made Luke my mom. He's literally going to take the game and hide it from me so I don't play it anymore. As sad as that is, I just don't think I'm able to control myself. Wah, no self-control. As you can tell from the nails. But that's the situation I'm in. The moment I finally realized I needed to stop was when I Twitch streamed the other day, and I wanted to go to bed at 2, but I couldn't stop until 4. And the whole time, the Twitch stream was telling me how long I'd been streaming, and it was a big 4.5 hours. And I was like, oh my god. I just can't believe that much time has been spent on this, and so that was my first and last stream for a while. Thank you to user Spencer Walther for starting off this interesting Q&A, asking me, when do I stream more often? That's why, because I have a problem and I'm admitting the problem, first step to stopping it, and I'm not going to be doing it for quite a while. Instead, I'm pumping way more time into learning German. Why? Because German makes me feel productive. It makes me feel like I'm doing something that's going to last, you know. Being able to speak another language is lifelong, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. Thank you for the interesting question. Thank you for joining in for today's Q&A. I hope you enjoy it. Let's jump in off the deep end. Before we get into the next question, thank you for listening to that. I don't know why that was so hard to say. I guess it's just been stressing me out, and it's really hard to admit things like that. And you might think it sounds lame, like I said, but to me, it means a lot. So thank you very much for listening. Do you use mouthwash? Mouthwash? Do you use mouthwash? Do you use mouthwash? No, and I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be. Correct me if I'm wrong, but mouthwash is just a marketing thing, and it's not approved by most dentists at all. In fact, it's a bad thing. So check on me. You know, maybe I'm telling you some fake news. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be using mouthwash if you are. What are you most excited about for Playlist Live? I want to meet as many of the people that make my life possible as possible. As cliche as that sounds, I get more and more thankful every day that my life exists, that I'm breathing, and that you watching this have put me in this position. And so when I'm at Playlist Live, I will try and spend as much of my time outside of the green room, outside in the expo hall, doing anything I can to meet as many of you as possible. So if you're going to Playlist Live this week in Florida, please be sure to stop me and say hi. I'm going to say hi to as many of you as possible. Please do, and we'll get pictures, and it'll be really nice, and we'll have conversations, and yeah. How do I survive my A-level exam starting next week? Please revise every day, multiple hours a day. I know it sounds lame. I've survived both in the US and the UK. The UK, in my opinion, much harder to study for, to revise for, but the only way I could do it was literally turning off all communication with the outside world and just breathing and eating the math I had to study. Also, if you need any help, I'm hoping to do a couple math live streams this week, so be sure to follow me on Twitter, because I'm going to, hopefully, help you with your math woes. It's just a big kink of mine, teaching math. If I could do that if YouTube wasn't a thing, I'd like to teach math. Any book recommendations? I've momentarily paused my reading of most English books to focus solely on reading German because I really, really, really want to be committed to this learning a new language thing. However, I read Ender's Game last year, and if you haven't read that yet, it's a phenomenal book that anyone can read, and it's so good. So there you go. Would you ever consider coming to Cumbria / the Lake District? I would love to. The Lake District, if you don't know, is like England's Orlando. It's where English people go when they want to go on holiday in England because for some reason they don't want to travel outside the country. I don't know. I'd love to visit. I really do. I've heard many good things. Maybe Luke and me and Connie and Al, we'll just all go up there sometime this summer. I'd really like to. I just don't know how expensive that is or if I have the money for it. I sure would like to. Yay, I'll Cumbrian my stuff to... I'm sorry. What coffee do you usually order? Almost always I get a flat white. It's just espresso and steamed milk with a cool little art piece on top. It looks nice for Instagram, also it tastes good. What's your favorite fruit? Well, I usually eat them 2 by 2, and it should be pretty apparent. My favorite fruit is a pear. They're really nice. I just like the taste. You know, I actually hate oranges. I just hate how annoying it is to open, and since I've never had fingernails, I can't open an orange. I have to give it to someone else. It's embarrassing. All right, aren't you glad you know that? As I learned that joke when I was 5. Who's your favorite Lord of the Rings character? If we're just talking about the trilogy, then Tom Bombadil, because he's such an enigma. But if we're talking about like the entire realm, I'd have to say Turin Turambar. It's like one of the most interesting characters Tolkien's ever written. He's like a tragic hero. His dad was cursed and all of his lineage from Morgoth, and so that's him, Turin. So his whole life is terrible. He accidentally slays his best friend. He accidentally sleeps with his sister who bears his child, and then he's like, you know what, I hate this. I hate everyone. I hate my life. And he just kills himself. However, it was like prophesized that he would be the one to come back from the dead to slay Morgoth's dragon. It's really cool. If you haven't read the Unfinished Tales of the Silmarillion, really good stuff there. Do you believe in any conspiracy theories? I've heard rumors that I believe in a couple that are flat out lies. All right, okay, if they come around to your ears, don't believe them. Australia doesn't exist. I just have to put that out there. The earth is flat. Okay, I've been to Australia, but it wasn't really Australia. It was just England, a different part of England with people going, "G'day, mate," just different accents, and they threw some dangerous spiders. Don't believe what you see in the school, in the internet, in logic. Don't. Earth is flat, all right? You heard it from me. Heard it from me. How do I show hospitality to these random people in my house? Make them a cup of tea. Anytime anyone comes around my house, I offer them a cup of tea. It is a British thing that is just so nice to do. It just makes me feel like I'm giving to someone. It makes me feel hospitable. I don't know. If you haven't tried it yet, literally do it. Unless they hate tea, because then, wow. What type of people have you invited into your house? Morgan! What would you say guys do most to let a girl know they like them? Usually what they do is they look at them and then internalize all their feelings and then think about actually asking them out, but then never asking them out and then living in internal regret. Or that's just me, I don't know. Fall Out Boy's back. What are your feelings? The first minute, I was really unsure about it, and I was like, what is this? And then I hit it, and it was my jam. And I was like, boom, I'm raving to this. It's really good. I like that it's new. I like that it's different. I love it. I like it a lot more than the new Paramore. Right? Just saying. Do you drink enough water every day? I used to not. I used to have a really big issue with not drinking enough water. And then Innocent gave me this water bottle. Like, not Spawn. They just gave me a water bottle. And now I literally use it all the freaking time. Like, it never works for me with cups because it's like a small cup. This is a giant water bottle. This is a lot of water. So I always keep it next to me. And if I'm thirsty, I'll just drink water when I'm bored. And that keeps me healthy. So get a water bottle, drink more water. Yeah. If not, what are you doing? There's the pun. You did pun, bottle it up, my emotions. What are your thoughts on the band Rammstein? By the way, they're German, so maybe they could help you. Well, I don't really like music that is necessarily that genre, but I have listened to Ich habe keine Lust because I was learning that expression and I found the song, so I'd be like, Ich habe keine Lust. I just thought it was funny. There's a funny music video. That's about it. Favorite thing about meeting fans? Honestly, meeting fans is so cool because usually it's hot out and they blow you. You know what I meant, right? It's about the circular fans. They're rotating, oscillating. When is your stupid London meetup, pun face? I want to have a London meetup sometime in May. Okay, quote me. It's gonna be in May. Sometime in May. That'll be the date, right? Look for my Twitter. I'm gonna probably post about it. I use my hands a lot in this video. Look for my Twitter. I'm gonna do a meetup around here. Boom. My last year of high school is killing me. Any advice to help me survive these last few months? Think about it this way. It's now May. Right? You've got 1.5 months of school left, and every day this year, it's just gonna get warmer and warmer and warmer, and it's gonna be summer, you're gonna be free soon, you're gonna be able to do so much of what you're able to do, and then your whole life starts. You have a lot of really cool stuff ahead of you, so whenever I get sad about things like where I am in that time, I think about how nice it's going to be very soon in the future. Unless, of course, you live south of the equator and it's gonna be getting colder, but at least you got, I don't know, swirly toilets the other way. Just do your best. Evan, motivational speaker. Motorcycle, motivational speaker. What are you doing? What's your favorite song right now? Young Adam Madison. I've been really into Madian's song Pay No Mind featuring Passion Pit. I love Passion Pit. I love Madian. It's a good collab. What did you find hard about learning German? And do you have any tips for people that want to learn another language? You really, really, really have to be consistent. It's almost like YouTube. You can't just skip a day or you lose that watch time. You lose those views. You lose everything. You got to do it every day. You need to be like using German even in your brain or whatever language you're trying to learn. So I'll say like was ist das all around the place. I'll think of things and then while I'm talking to someone, try and think of the German, even when I'm not speaking German. That really helps solidify different words for me, the fact that I'm using it every day. And honestly, you do have to read. And if you don't like reading, you're kind of out of luck. There's other ways you can do it, maybe an audio book or something. I hate audiobooks. So I read in German. That's really adding some vocab to me. And make it fun. Try and enjoy the language that you're learning and just know that soon you're gonna be able to speak another language. That's the coolest thing for me is the fact that will be able to happen soon. That's like right on the horizon. What 3 things in nature do you find beautiful? Okay, picture this, right? You're laying out on a really warm day with a nice cool breeze. You're laying in the grass, you're looking up in the sky, and you see the clouds at multiple different layers blowing across. You have like a top layer, bottom layer, middle layer, each of them different types of clouds moving at different speeds, the sun filtering through the leaves of the tree right above you. Right, just gave you that really nice scene. I experienced that sometime 2 weeks ago and I was really freaking happy. There's like some sounds of birds chirping, there's people playing in the park near my house. It was really nice. Clouds, I love cloud watching, I love birds chirping, and I love sitting in grass. Okay, there you go. There's Evan being real about things he likes in nature. Also, I like trees. What's the most recent thing you've learned to say in German? Was zum Teufel? Was zum Teufel? Was zum Teufel? Say it to your friends. Is the meme mansion ever going to end? Yes, quite soon probably. I love moving. I love moving all around. I love not having a secure place to live. That was sarcasm, but the beginning was not. Yeah, probably in a couple months or so. And I'll figure out where I go from there. My life is always up and down. Thoughts on Star Wars? I've noticed a lack of mentions in your videos and I want to know why. Honestly, I've never cared for Star Wars. I watched them as a kid and I was like, I was never a big fan. I was always much a bigger fan of like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. If you're friends with Dottle and your pee is in a certain yellow, would you say you're in trouble? Yeah, man, she gets really pissed about that. Well, that does it for this month's Ask Evan. Thank you so much for participating and enjoying watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. There's a thumbs up button. There's also a subscribe button. There's also a bell where you can get notified when I make new videos. Isn't that exciting? Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed everything I had to say, and I hope to see you guys back next week. See you later. Goodbye. It's my butt.